Next up, we have our tribute to outgoing President Sam Davis. Whereas Benjamin Davis was elected to the Board of Education in 2020 and served as Board Vice President twice and once as Board President. Whereas Director Davis was elected to the school board by the voters of Oakland's District 1 in 2020, while Director Davis's son attended Oakland Technical High School, graduating in 2024. And whereas prior to the board, Director Davis was active in the campaigns for Measure N, J, G1, and Y, and then on the board led the effort in concert with labor partners, community groups, and youth activists to renew the College and Career for All initiative until 2036 by passing Measure H on the 2022 ballot. And whereas Director Davis previously served district students for 8 years as an adult education teacher, and while it was a very painful decision to close Parker Elementary, Director Davis helped transform it into an adult education and community health center. And whereas Director Davis served for 3 years on the Facilities Committee, where he played an instrumental role in planning the use of bond funds that voters provided for the district through Measure Y. He helped ensure that the majority of the Measure Y funds are going to long overdue renovations at 4 schools in the Flatlands where they are most needed: Garfield Elementary, Roosevelt Middle, Coliseum College Preparatory Academy, and McClymonds High School. And whereas Director Davis worked as president to strengthen the board's committee system so that the annual board work plan grows out of the committee work, and any new board resolutions are automatically referred to committees for discussion and recommendation. And whereas Director Davis led the board through the charter renewal process for 9 schools, which was the first time since 2020 that the board reviewed charter renewals, also a challenge since AB 1505 significantly changed the process in 2019. And whereas Director Davis worked with the student board directors and enthusiastically supported their leadership in co-sponsoring the 2022 Youth Vote Resolution with former Director Amy Ng, co-authored by student directors Samantha Powell and Natalie Gallegos Chavez, whereby the board stood with our youth to insist that the Alameda County implement Oakland Youth Vote, years of effort finally paid off, allowing hundreds of 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in the November 2024 election for school board directors. And whereas while Director Davis is leaving the board, he plans to continue advocating for equity, quality public schools, and a sustainable school district that provides the outstanding education that all of Oakland students deserve. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we recognize and celebrate Director Benjamin Sam Davis's tireless and steadfast service and impactful results on behalf of all students, staff, and families of Oakland Unified School District. We wish him the very best on his exit from the Board of Education as he continues to be a champion for the Oakland community. Thank you. Do we have a motion to adopt the tribute to former President Sam Davis?
I move.
And I second.
And are there any public comments, Mr. Hollis?
Check, check. Yes, we have 17 speakers. Let's go ahead and call the first 5. 1 minute each. All right, let's see. Changing the clock. Okay, first 5 speakers are Sheila Haynes, Council Member Carol Fife, Aslina Tambu, Dr. Denise Gale Sadler, and Dr. Charcolita Arnold. Madam President, Sheila Haynes and Councilmember Carol Fife are online. You want me to allow them to speak first? Okay. First, Sheila Haynes. I'll allow them to speak.
Hello?
You can be heard.
We can hear you. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to personally thank former President Sam Davis for working with Vice President Hutchinson, as well as the new President Brohard on our plan with our resolution and meeting with parent leaders, and just want to welcome the new president and vice president and the new board members, and just ask that you just really just think about our children and our most vulnerable children, and help each other and work together to help various things that they need. And put my full faith in you all, and just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Yes, next speaker is Council Member Carol Fife. Allow them to speak.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I actually left my council orientation early this morning because I wasn't feeling well, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to publicly recognize my friend and colleague, Benjamin Sam Davis. Back in the day, before either of us even thought about public service and our children were still smaller than us, we worked together at Manzanita C to create effective traffic safety solutions families. We participated in public safety walks, and we worked just every single day for Oakland families. So I'm not surprised that he ended up serving in this official capacity for OUSD. And fast forward to today, we've had the opportunity to work on a plan to house unsheltered students in the Oakland Unified School District. We've worked to use public land for public good, and making sure that Parker Elementary continued to serve the community that it was intended to serve. So I'm deeply grateful to know you, Sam. I appreciate every time you showed up for me, and especially this past year. And even when we've disagreed, I've known you to be a person of deep faith, and that I could count on you to lead with data and your heart. So I wish you the very best and whatever you choose to do moving forward. And I'm so grateful to know you.
Thank you. Next speaker in person.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. I want to appreciate and say thank you to Sam Davis. We surely have not always seen eye to eye, and we may not see eye to eye again in the future. But that's okay. You have showed me that people can disagree and still work together towards a shared goal, taking ideas from here and there and coming up with real solutions. This is a lesson I will always carry with me throughout my life. We have had shared goals both here and outside of the school board, and it has always been a pleasure working with you towards those things. Thank you for your service and for always being so supportive, and thank you for being part of my journey.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good evening, all, and good evening to the Board of Education. I would like to take a moment to recognize that Sam Davis as he's leaving for a new adventure in his future life. On behalf of the BTC and entire school district, we extend our deepest gratitude and appreciation to Sam for his unwavering dedication and outstanding service to our school board. Over the course of his tenure, Sam has demonstrated exceptional leadership, commitment, and genuine passion for education. Sam has contributed immensely to shaping the future of our school and enriched the lives of children we all serve. His impact extends beyond the Board of Education, touching the hearts and minds of students, staff, and families. We are grateful for his time, effort, vision that he brought to our school district. We're looking forward to continuing building strong foundation, communication, and trust that he helped establish. And thank you for your service, Sam. Contribution have made lasting difference in lives of students in our community. Thank you again, and I wish you all the best in your future life. And thank you all. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Can we have the next 5 speakers?
Yes, the next 5 speakers. Go ahead.
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Dr. Denise Gale Sadler, and I'm very privileged to be able to acknowledge Sam Davis. I first met him while serving as an interim principal at Manzanita Seed Elementary. And at the very outset, it was really evident that he was a very special person who was committed to our students and community. And he has never been just about policy making or just participating just to be seen. He's about rolling up his sleeves and getting the work done. I've always have seen him as a person that understood the complexities and the pathologies in our community, and it was always willing to challenge any conversation, which I hear is a theme that everybody has spoken to, is that I always felt like if I called him about a concern that I have, he would call me back. I later met him again while working in District 1 and serving as an interim principal again at Sankofa, and we had a lot of discussions. We talked about strikes, we talked about dealing with COVID and all sorts of different things. But he was always a good listener, always somebody who was willing to think about the other approach or hear what I had to say. I'm really appreciative of the time that you have spent, your willingness to work directly with students. I always would see him in the community. I always felt supported. I always knew if I called him about anything that he would return my call immediately. He's someone who really gets what real governance is about, is participation and listening to the community that he serves. There's so much that I could say about him as a parent, as a committed community person, as somebody that was a good writer and communicator. In fact, many of you who know me know that I have worked as an interim at many different sites in all of the districts, actually. And it's really interesting, his writings relative to what was happening, our issues at school, with the school board and the community. It's interesting that his newsletters would find themselves in all of the districts, and because they were so well written and balanced. So I just wanted to take this time to appreciate Sam. I also want to acknowledge Jorge Lerma, who is a colleague that I've worked with. I actually worked more closely with his wife, because while I was president of OEA, she served as my bargaining chair. So we go way, way back. But tonight, I think it's really important to acknowledge people who serve, who are committed to serve this community. So thank you, Sam, for all that you've done. You're appreciated, but I know I'll see you out there.
Is there one more speaker?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Dr. Shaquita Arnold Whitaker, and I am the proud principal of Sankofa United Elementary School. I want to show my deep appreciation for Sam Davis. Sam, I want to thank you for all your time, energy, and service to our community. In the name of building community and establishing positive rapport, you made a visit to my classroom during the last few days as a teacher at the great CCPA to introduce yourself, share about your role, and since I was moving some things to Sankofa, you grabbed a couple of crates. What a way to welcome me. At Sankofa, we are honored to have you participate in our Latino Heritage Month and Black History Month read-ins, volunteering your time and doing your part in our ongoing journey to end literacy and justice, one action at a time, will always remain a bright memory for me. Additionally, you supported our school on numerous occasions and sat with our PTA at the Juneteenth parade in Berkeley as we told the community about Sankofa and shared some of its beauty during this affirming event. So Sam, your servant leadership and dedication is inspiring, and I thank you and appreciate you.
Thank you. Can we have the next 5 speakers, please?
Yes, Madam President. Next 5 speakers are Simone DeLucci, Brooklyn Williams, Amapola Oberva, Martell Price, and Rich Harrison.
All right, good evening. Happy New Year to everybody. I want to wish everyone, all of our leaders in Oakland, good luck in 2025. We're all going to need it. I also want to congratulate and welcome our new directors, Barry and Lotta. Congratulations and welcome. Deep appreciation to President Brohard and Vice President Batchelor for stepping up, taking on such important leadership positions, especially in this time. And I'm here to appreciate Mr. Sam Davis for all of his support. You've heard a lot of other people speak. I want to echo his support of the most vulnerable populations, as well as his support and championing of student voice. It's definitely something that we have in common and shared values. In this day and time, I've been around a lot of elected leaders in the last couple of years, and I've learned that we really need three things from them. I call it the 3 C's. The first one, and I think Sam embodies all of these. So the first one is character. All of our leaders need to demonstrate character. And all that really means is do what you say you're gonna do and follow up, right? And so you've heard that from others about Sam. So we need character. The other one is curiosity, trying to understand where other people are coming from, even if you don't agree with them. Taking that time and being curious and not thinking that you know everything. And the last one is probably the most important in the day and time, which is courage. Sometimes it's hard for leaders to do the right thing because they're pressured to do the popular thing. And sometimes the popular thing is not the right thing. And oftentimes our community doesn't have all the information that leaders do. And so it really does take courage to step up and do the right thing, and it's always the right time to do the right thing. So I just want to thank you, Sam, and also wish you the best wishes on your next chapter. And we know that you'll continue to serve in the way that you have. So thank you so much, and good night, everybody.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good evening, Board. Rich Harrison, CEO, Lighthouse Community Public Schools. Sam, I just want to thank you for your leadership over the last 4 years. I moved to Oakland 5 years ago. In my first year as a charter leader in Oakland, you had just been elected to the board. And when I think about your leadership, it's really around navigating complexity, but also leading with values. And there were moments where you were able to stand firm in your perspective and your decisions, but also being incredibly eloquent about sharing how you got to those decisions, even in the face of opposition. And I just really appreciate that. I also remember in our first few years with the pandemic response, just how connected you were to ensuring that the additional dollars that we got across Oakland were serving students in a meaningful way. Specifically, the 3 things that I wanted to thank you for. One is thank you for supporting our matters that we brought forth to the board. I also wanted to appreciate the work that you did with Measure NNH. It is the most inclusive in terms of charter and district partnership around ensuring that every high school student has a pathway to college and career, and it has such tremendous impact in this city, and your leadership on that is instrumental. And last, I know that we had some charter renewals that came up, and I just really appreciate how you held charters accountable. We need to make sure that we're following the rules and regs to serve this community well, and I appreciate you taking that stance. Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Madam President, 2 of the speakers called are online on Zoom. Would you
Okay,
like
can
me
we
to-
have those speakers? Thanks.
First is Martell Price. I will allow them to speak on Zoom.
Thank you. Greetings, esteemed Superintendent Johnson Trammell and members of the OUSD School Board. Thank you for allowing me this time to express my appreciation for Sam Davis. I'm sorry that I'm not present in person, but like I said last year when I came before the board in person during School Board Appreciation Month, which it is again, by the way, I could never do what you all do. So thank you all 100 times over again and again for doing the work you're doing. From my vantage point, it sure doesn't look easy, but you all know this and you still take the challenge on despite the meager compensation that's a nod to Sam, and the difficulties we face as an educational community. I don't recall the exact date, pre or post-COVID, I met Mr. Sam Davis, but I do recall the moment. We were on the steps in front of Oakland Tech, and he introduced himself, and he told me that he was going to run for school board member. As a resident and also a teacher in District 1, I told him he was lucky I wasn't going to run against him, as I've had political ambitions in the past. Well, today, 4 to 5 years later, I would like to publicly retract that statement. I want to tell Sam and the rest of the world that I am lucky, blessed, and fortunate and thankful that he did run and serve as the District 1 school board rep for the last 4 years, because he dealt with some real heavy stuff, to put it lightly. COVID, pandemic, the list goes on and on. I don't even have to say it. At any rate, I'm thankful that Sam brought his experiences as a parent, educator, and a social activist to the school board, which is an arena that can be very challenging to exist in the public eye. I'm thankful that Sam was true to OUSD and that he entrusted OUSD and Oakland Tech to see his child through his compulsory public educational journey. Rafa's acting, performances, and skills will forever be remembered by those who were lucky enough to see him in action. It was pure comedy at times, folks. Lastly, I'm thankful that Sam used his voice as the District 1 school board rep and platform for as much good as he could. That being said, I'm thankful and appreciative that I had a school board rep that would listen to me, not only as the principal of Oakland Tech, but as a lifelong resident of Oakland. I wish you continued success and a great sense of well-being in your next endeavor, Sam Davis. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Simone DeLucci. I'll allow them to speak on Zoom.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Simone DeLucci. I'm the Restorative Community Schools Manager at Frick United Academy of Language. I am here to just thank and acknowledge Sam Davis for all of his years of service. Sam, I am so blessed to have known you for at least 20 years now, dating all the way back to Manzanita Seed, through the design team of Oakland Soul, and through the launch of Frick United. You have been a staunch supporter of Frick United since its inception 5 years ago, and you have been a true champion and community partner since we began our journey as Frick United. We really appreciate all of the deep levels of advocacy you have shown our school. Everything from struggles like making sure we could partner with the folks that were going to install the solar panel installation. You were there to help us to ensure that it was a beautiful process and everything worked out well for our students and for the solar panel installation. When we needed support with clean water, you helped us with that. But you're also there to celebrate with us as well. When Frick Drama Club students wanted to go see a top quality theater production, you made sure you helped us get to Oakland Tech to see that amazing performance of Chicago last spring. And this past fall, you were there to celebrate with us at our 6th grade family welcome, the first annual event that we will be having now that our enrollment has blossomed to the point where we believe we're becoming a choice school. All of your advocacy and support has really helped us get to where we are. We deeply appreciate everything that you've done for OUSD students across our city, because you started in District 1 and always reached all the way out to us, way out in District 6. Thank you so much for your service, and I'm so excited and happy that you are being celebrated this evening. Thank you for your service, Sam.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Madam President, want me to call the next 5 speakers?
Yeah. Thank you.
Or the last 6. Last 6 speakers are Mara Villanova, Katie Nunez Atler. See, there's 2, so there's actually 5 speakers left. Lauren McDaniels, Ben Tapscott, and Sam Davis.
My speech, where'd it go? Good evening, new board directors and superintendent. My name is Mara Villanueva. I'm the organizing director with Californians for Justice. I wanted to give a warm welcome to our new board directors and tell you, y'all have big shoes to fill. After having Sam as our board members, our youth have been like really big expectations of y'all and just like what y'all should be as directors. There are a lot of things that our youth appreciate about Sam. He's not just your regular schmegular white ally. That's what our youth said. He's been consistent. He's been the consistent advocate and ally, always in solidarity with the youth. The youth say when nobody was talking about race, he was there. And for the last 5 years, he's been a pivotal in like, ensuring the implementation of Oakland Youth Vote. He's been consistent about always including our youth, whether it's in the efforts of the reauthorization of Measure N, one of those. I don't know what it's called now. Or for having listening circles around the impacts of a vaccine mandate and what they would mean for our communities, or whether it was to break down complicated policies, the youth, he's always been friendly. This is something that Mia Tran said. Sam has never made me feel like he doesn't know who I am. He does actually care about the youth and that interact with him. He's going to remember your face and what you said, and it's going to be meaningful to him. He's going to make you feel valued and like our work is important and impactful. As a person of color, this made me feel like my voice made a difference. So thank you, Sam, for always having and showing up for the youth.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren McDaniels, Oakland Technical High School alum and All City Council alum. I met Sam Davis through All City Council, and through All City Council and being at Oakland Tech, we got to do Measure H together. And as we were able to do Measure H together at the celebration, I was able to meet the CEO of Linked Learning, and I was able to be the student MC at their 2023 Linked Learning Conference in San Diego. And I was able to get my mom and I, at 17 years old, flew out to San Diego for said conference. All thank you to Sam Davis. And when we were down there, it was my senior season, and he set up tours for San Diego State and other places. And the night before the San Diego State tour, I got into my dream university that I'm now at, my sophomore year. And I'm just so thankful to Sam for giving me that opportunity, something that my mom and I will cherish for a lifetime, and being my board member, because the day of my graduation, he was on stage and took the best picture of me that my mom has now framed and put in my room that I love so much. So I just want to say thank you, Sam Davis, for always listening to me when I was in All City Council, when I went to Oakland Technical High School, and staying in contact with you now that I'm in university.
That is a hard act to follow. Good evening, board. It's so wonderful to see you, and superintendent and community. My name is Katie Nunez-Adler. I am a former Oakland Unified School District parent, a current resident, a activist and organizer, and a friend of Sam Davis. I wanted to just say, Sam and I met actually in college as organizers, organizing around racial, economic, and social justice throughout the Americas. And then we re-met when I was a parent at Manzanita Seed, and he was working with family leaders as a teacher in the ESL program. And from there, we started doing organizing, always centering those who are directly impacted in the decisions that are made. I'm going to not tell all the story I was going to say because I want to pass the mic over to Nydia, but I just want to say that I am so incredibly appreciative, grateful, inspired by all the steps on your journey, Sam. And most particularly, I'm grateful as a parent and somebody who's deeply committed to the students and families of Oakland Unified School District for your leadership here. I'm going to pass the mic.
Nydia Baez, principal at Fremont High School. Thank you, Sam, for everything you've done for us. I feel that we've met through our OCO days, and I just am looking forward to continue to work with you in the community. And I'm so thankful that as a board member, you visited Fremont and supported Fremont no matter what through the last 12, 14 years of our experience together. And shout out to your wife for helping to support you through this entire journey of leadership. So I wish you the best, and thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Are there more speakers, Mr. Hollis? Oh, okay.
Well, thank you, Board. I had a lot to say, but given the number of times I've cut people off here, I think I should respect the time limit because, you know, well, first, congratulations, President Brohard, congratulations, Vice President Batchelor. It's so moving to see Director Berry and Director Latta up there. Thank you so much for stepping up to serve, and my other colleagues, thank you for your service. It's strange to be back down here on the floor after, you know, so many times coming here as a community advocate, and then for 4 years being up on the dais, and now here I'm back here. And, you know, it's always an honor to serve the students and educators of Oakland, but it's a tough job, and I appreciate you doing it. You know, and I honestly don't know whether it's easier to be more effective down here in the community. There's so many things that restrict you as a board member, whether it's politics, whether it's staff intervention, whether it's, well, I'll stop there. But I appreciate you all for doing it, and I look forward to, I'm in the community, I'm still here. Don't be strangers. Take care.
Thank you. At this time, we'll take board comments, and we're going to start on this end. So, Director Simmons.
First off, I want to say, Sam, you were great to work with, amazing. You made it, as soon as I arrived, you made it comfortable, and you made it known that if I needed anything, I could come to you. Sorry, I'm a little congested. But honestly, you are really a role model when it comes to uplifting student voices. I really feel like you're on our side 100%. And if I really had a problem and I came to you and I told you and you say you would get it done, you got it done. And I have the utmost respect for you for that. You always stood behind your word. Thank you. It was great serving with you. I wish you could have stayed until the end of my term. I'm coming back for senior year, so you would have been here for a minute. So but it was great working with you. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you so much. It was really a pleasure working with you, and just like how Dr. Simmons said, you were really welcoming. This is my first time doing something just like being student director or just being a part of ACC, and you've been nothing but helpful, and especially just keeping your word. It's something that I feel like a lot of people struggle, but you definitely did not lack that at all. We definitely worked a lot closely together, and I feel very appreciative of just speaking to you, and I definitely look up to you in different ways as well. Thank you so much for being here as our board president, but also just serving our community as well. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Sam, thank you so much for your service, for your sense of humor. I think having humor when you take on tough leadership work is important to kind of maintain your joy and humanness, you know, when there's just so many challengers. Appreciate your hard work. Kind of like your creative, collaborative, like, okay, how are we gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat on this one or work through this issue? And I think understanding the importance of governance, of, you know, always having open communication, even if we don't agree or see things differently, I think that's key, and you model that all the time. And just your willingness, I think also, yeah, to listen to a lot of different perspective and be reflective. So I want to appreciate your family, you know, your wife, your son, for being generous with the time, you know, particularly, you know, during COVID and other challenges that we've had. And look forward to seeing the ways that you're a restless spirit, so I know you're not going to, you know, just be in deep reflection. So as it becomes clear what the Spirit has called on you to contribute, looking forward to seeing what that is.
Sam Davis. It's been no secret that we have not agreed on many things, that we had not seen eye to eye. But what I do really appreciate is, A, your willingness to be uncomfortable and just take the meeting, join me in conversation, and always just have the door open for any sort of conversation. I know if I call you, we can chat. I know if we meet up, we'll have a good conversation. And that, I didn't realize how valuable that was until we had those conversations and we were able to sit down. So I really appreciate that. As Lena, my neighbor, mentioned, I really also appreciate the work that you did at Parker to restore the harm that was done to that campus and to really beautify it to the place where it is now. And I hope that we continue to have those kinds of creative ideas for our spaces as we move forward. And I can't thank you enough for what you've done for the Oakland Youth Vote. Again, I think it's really, really powerful when young people are registered to vote, they vote early, they vote often, because then they can really participate in our democracy and potentially hold some of the seats that we have now. And so to see the work that you've done with not only Max and Michelle, but also every single student board director that has come before them, and the ACC, and your advocacy towards the county, the city, I mean, like, anybody pay for this, right? I think was really impressive, and it really showed what we have to step into doing now, but also what can get done if there is persistence and perseverance. At the CSBA conference, I was just shocked as to we're one of the only cities, if not Berkeley at all. You know, there's just a few other cities that allow this to happen, and there were student board directors there that were very excited to bring this to their city and very excited to continue this movement. So again, just really appreciate you for that. And then obviously Measure H and Measure N, those were, again, super valuable to our students. And again, having your foresight, having your persistence in getting those things done has been invaluable to our students, and I really want to appreciate you for that too.
Director Davis, Rachel, Director Latta, I know that you will appreciate where this is coming from, because I know I respect and appreciate you, but I do regret that I will not be able to sit on the dais with you and work with you. I've learned so much from you. You've heard it tonight. The way that you are able to balance, being critical about things, but also hopeful about the future. You're so thoughtful, you have vision, but you also put in work. And when I'm in District 5, people say you show up, and they're like, he's not even our district director. So I appreciate that people have been able to experience that from you. And I'm looking forward to, just like I mentioned to Director Lerma, calling and texting and keeping you active in the community as much as possible. Thank you also to your family, because I know that it is with great sacrifice that he's able to show up the way that he does. Thank you.
Benjamin. All right. I like Benjamin. You look like a Benjamin. He said, I am Benjamin. So Sam, Mr. Davis, it's been great working with you. Definitely have learned a lot. You're a very savvy guy. You're always thinking about the next step ahead. You make moves when people don't even know that you're making a man. Yes, because you always have a plan. Whenever you engage, you have a plan. You already know where your goal is. And so we didn't get a chance to really chat very much during your term. I think you made a very quick decision that you can spend your energy on other folks and get the same stuff done. But, I definitely know when we had a conversation, it was really a learning experience. And I just really appreciate your ability to reach out and work with everyone on the board to create resolutions, to create solutions for them to be a part of what they would like to do. Or even if you had the idea, you would come to another board member and ask them to co-sponsor it. So, I mean, that sense of cooperative, cooperative justice is just like providing people an opportunity to have a say and be part of a good idea. And so that's something that I'm gonna take from you, definitely. I'm gonna really put at this year is to try to work with every single board member and find something that we can work on together. I think that is a good trait, good character trait as well. So I just want to commend you on that. And also, again, working with the young folks, you know, you know, you don't speak very loud, but you do carry a big stick, you know. You get things done. Yes. You don't speak, you know, when folks, you know, on the board get all crazy, you know, you've been able to moderate the conversation, and even you knew when to step back. And so appreciate that maturity to really show to board how things should be done. You were a good example for that, so I just want to thank you for that. Again, like everybody say, your hands are in many different baskets. You've been helping a lot of folks out for a long time. And lastly, I just want to really, I keep thinking about a story your wife told at the the Ed Fund, and she's like, "You didn't know Sam was an activist in college. We got arrested for social protesting." So I really admire that aspect. I was like, look at this progressive guy. He was out in the streets, right? Talking about backup police. We standing our ground. So that sense of, that really core that you've developed, let me get off the mic. Core activism is inside of you. You've been living it. You've been working it out. You've been showing others as how to do that as an example. Thank you very much, brother. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Sam, for the 4 years, and I think it probably felt like 15 that you went through on the board. I remember being at a merger conversation with a bunch of community from Sankofa and Peralta and Kaiser, and you rolled up and were like, "I'm going to run for school board," and I think we all thought you were nuts. And you, I think through that campaign, and I think through your time on the board, really followed through on showing up for people. I think as a parent in the district, I knew from people who had kids at, all of the schools in District 1, and even, kind of the staff all knew who you were. They all knew that they could call you. They knew that you would respond. They knew that even if you didn't agree and you didn't like what they had to say, that you would respond. And so I think for me now, stepping into being up here, now it's like the roles are really reversed, because I feel like I was down there yelling at you, and now you could be down there yelling at me. I think to really take that inspiration of taking seriously the responsibility to be present, and part of I think some of the most powerful work is to continue to show up. Even in spaces that are uncomfortable, and to show up for the fun stuff too. I mean, I think I always loved, seeing your newsletter and on social media, you being at graduations and plays and literacy read-ins, because I think it's just a really important example, in addition to being a parent in the district, but to really be embedded in the community and to continually be of service in multiple ways. So I really thank you for that. I won't go on and on about the work that you did on, schools and communities first, which, I think you were running your own campaign and also trying to support that. Yes, in the back, it's coming back someday. We're going to reform Prop 13. The work on Measure H, on the youth vote. I think I do really, really appreciate that. I look forward to seeing what you do next. I will echo what my colleague, Director Barry, said, which is that, put me on speed dial, because you're on my phone. I'll be reaching out to you for lots of things. But also, I think thank you to Yael and Rafa. I know this was very difficult on you all. So thank you very much for your support for Sam. And congratulations, Sam.
I think my president would understand this and allow me this time. I would like to use a terminology that I want this person to recognize, and that is President Davis, because he was my president. He actually taught me a lot of things. Many times he would sit over where you're sitting, and then I would sit not too far from him. And thank you, Sam, for being that example for me to follow. But if you'll allow me now to talk about two specific times when I really appreciate having had you as my mentor, and that is with the youth vote. When we met out in front of the school and we took our picture, we stood in solidarity because we believed in our youth being able to have the right to vote for our school board. The second thing was Measure NNH when we were over at Fremont High School. And I really, really enjoyed that. And when I think about those two ideas, I combine them into something that people might not see in it, and that is making sure there's equity provided to all students, no matter who they are. So I appreciate that in you. I appreciate your depthfulness, how you're able to think about things critically and then come to a conclusion. I think about the times when we had to walk off the dais in order for things to cool down, but I thank you that we were able to do that as a group, and we came out unified and as one. So thank you very much. I also want to thank his family for allowing him this time with us. Of course, I'm being kind of prejudiced here. I wanted all of his time, but of course he had to give his time to his wife and his son also. So thank you very kindly. Oh, and the last thing, I remember the time that you and I went through something that was kind of traumatic. We had some signs placed at our house and at our church and synagogue. So thank you for handling that well. Thank you that we made it through that, okay? I really appreciate all that you've done, and I want you to have a great, great rest of the time.
So I guess as president, I get to close out. I have really learned a lot from working with you, President Davis. I think your mentoring, I think seeing your contacts, seeing who you knew in the community, seeing how people really respected the work you did. I think I appreciate you introducing me to so many different people. I think, like people have said, your work on the Oakland Youth Vote, I think your attention to the needs of our students, your connection, seeing when we did the walkthrough at Oakland High, your connection with both the principal, but also with the kids as well. So you may have your son to thank for that too, but you did. I really appreciated that work. I think your excitement about student activities. You're always telling us when there's a drama production at so and so, and I think again another way to support our students in the arts. I think as far as your work on the district, I deeply appreciate being able to collaborate with you around 1025. I know we had many discussions about it, but I appreciate, again, your depth of knowledge as I came onto the board, and again, your depth of connections, talking, I think that was really, and again, I think that's your advocacy for transitional aged youth. I appreciate that as well. One thing I really did appreciate and learn from you, I might have to step up my photo game, but I noticed that on your Facebook, you are always, there's different events always going on, and you're taking the photos, and really, I think, supporting the schools. I know people talked about schools in other districts as well, but I think your support for the schools in District 1 showed both a deep connection and a real responsibility representing your district. As I moved into this role, I have really appreciated your mentoring, and you're constantly reminding me of limits to hours in the day and what I needed to cut out, so I appreciate that. But again, I think your sense of activism, your family's sense of activism has really been a benefit both to the board and to the city of Oakland, so I appreciate that. Thank you. And with that, we'll now take a vote on the motion to approve the tribute to former President Sam Davis. And we have a roll call, please.
Yes. On the roll call to approve the tribute to Benjamin Sam Davis. Student Director Vasquez.
Yes.
Student Director Simmons.
Yes.
Director Thompson.
Yes.
Director Latter.
Yes.
Director Williams.
Yes, sir.
Director Hutchinson.
Yes.
Director Barry.
Yes.
Vice President Batchelor.
Yes.
And President Brohard.
Yes.
Motion's adopted unanimously.